In this video, I'm going to give you the exact process that you can use to finally cut out your scrolling addiction. And this advice that I'm going to tell you, you probably won't hear anybody anywhere else because I have been through this myself. I used to be scrolling for 10 hours a day. Like it genuinely felt like my phone was like Thor's hammer from the Avengers. Like I genuinely was in my hand at all times. No matter how hard I tried, I was so addicted to it that I just couldn't stop. And yeah, I got out. And nowadays, I'm a procrastination coach who helps my clients cut out scrolling and procrastination from their lives. I've only gotten here because I know the exact process. And I'm Anthony, by the way, and I just want to help you get the exact same results that my clients have gotten. A big first step that you need to realize is that scrolling isn't actually the problem. It's not scrolling's fault that you've wasted all this time. It's not even the company's fault. It's not Google or Meta. It's not their fault. Honestly, it's your fault. It's your fault that you have been addicted to scrolling for this long. Like you've been building this addiction for years at this point. It's your fault, not anybody else's, because accountability is the first step to solving any problem or addiction. Without taking accountability for the problem, you're not going to take accountability for the solution. If you just take accountability, like own up to the fact that, yes, I have scrolled for 4 years. That's how long I used to scroll for. 4 years for 6 to 10 hours a day, every single day. That was me. Own up to it. Own up to it because it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Honestly, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. It doesn't matter because you can't change the past. All that matters is that you take responsibility for the fact that it was your fault. And so moving on into the future, you're going to take responsibility for the solution. Because without this foundation, none of this video is going to help you. Honestly, this first step is the exact thing you should be focused on right now. Take accountability. Own up to it. Now that you've moved on, you've actually taken accountability for what you have done in the past. It's time to change. Except there's 2 things holding you back, and I'm going to cover them one by one. The first is that you have an addiction, right? Surprise. And addictions are difficult to overcome. You can't just go cold turkey. You can't go from 100 to 0. You need to take this slowly and steadily. And all addiction boils down to, and how to get rid of it, is you find your triggers, which is just what causes you to scroll. You find your triggers, you isolate them so you figure out exactly what specific moment happens, and then you reduce them until you can finally remove them. That's the exact process of how to cut out an addiction for good. But that's the problem. Most people think that you can go from 0 to 100 and 100 from 0. You can't go from scrolling for every day of your life to going to 0. It's not going to happen. Because I made this mistake myself. I used to think that I just had to be disciplined about it. I had to go to 0 instantly. And guess what? I ended up being in a rut for multiple months where I felt bad because I was scrolling. And because I was forcing myself to try to stop scrolling, I actually ended up scrolling more. Don't fall for that same trap that I did, okay? I want you to just figure out what exactly happened. So like, let's say it's so specific that when I wake up, I go ahead, reach for my phone and check my notifications. And because of that, I click on an app and end up scrolling. If you can get that specific, you're going to move on to the next step where it's to reduce it. So again, this is a linear process, not a 100 to 0. We're going from a lot to just a little bit less. You're still scrolling for, let's say, from 8 hours to 7.5 hours a day. But that's still progress. Like, that's the thing. Progress is awesome. It doesn't matter if you only go down a minute a day. That's awesome. Because in a month, you're still going to feel the difference. Like, you're going to have so much more free time. And the thing is, this is sustainable. When you reduce it this way, when you slowly go down in steps, you'll actually stay at that step. It's almost like you're allowing yourself to scroll for 6 hours, even though obviously the end goal is 0. You're still allowing yourself to have that addiction still running, but it's just slowly less and less. By the way, this process doesn't have to go on for long. Absolute max, if you're going super slow, 2 months. In reality, you could probably get there in like a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks even, depending on how long you've been building this addiction for, right? For me, it was like 5 years where I was just scrolling nonstop on YouTube. Probably I spent thousands of hours on YouTube, honestly. And so it ended up taking me probably close to 2 months. It took me a long while. But for other people, it'll probably be shorter, especially with the lessons I'm giving you. You just gotta go slow. Like, the thing is, don't get discouraged when you mess up. That's the whole point of an addiction process. Like, when you go into rehab, like you've been taking hardcore drugs, they put you into rehab so that you can slowly reduce it. They literally still give you the drug, but just less of it so that you grow less reliant on it. That's exactly what happens, and that's the same process we should use for scrolling. Now, the second problem you're going to encounter, which I've literally heard nobody talk about, okay? It's that you need a replacement for scrolling. That's a huge mistake I made. This is actually, whenever 2 years ago I quit video games, I spent so long working on it, going through the whole process of like reducing the hours slowly but surely. Eventually I got to 0. I stopped playing video games. I was so proud. And guess what? All of the hours that used to go to video games got redirected into scrolling. And so essentially my scrolling problem doubled just because I didn't find something else to replace my video game addiction. If you don't find something to replace your addiction, another addiction will take its place. That's the whole problem, you know? And it really doesn't matter what you replace it with. It could be a hobby, a thing. For me, it was YouTube and working out. Those were the two big things that I could finally now do because I stopped scrolling. It doesn't matter what it really is, honestly. As long as you feel productive when you do it, it achieves one of your goals, or even you just like doing it, okay? As long as you feel more fulfilled than you do right now, wasting all of your precious time on scrolling. As long as you feel better than you are now, great, right? That's all we wanted. And just don't be afraid to take it slowly. Again, I keep rehashing the same point, but don't get discouraged when you mess up. Go slowly. When you mess up, just keep going. That's the thing. Like, it's such a simple process. It's difficult, absolutely, but it's simple. You follow all the steps I outlined for you, and you're going to find that you're actually beating scrolling. You're finally beating your addiction for the first time in years. And one last point I have for you. You're going to feel so much more productive. Like, unlike other addictions, let's say hardcore drugs, you know, even though arguably hardcore drugs is worse for you than scrolling, scrolling is so widespread and so accepted that I'd argue that it's even worse than those, because those are freak exceptions, right? Literally everybody nowadays scrolls. And the problem with that is that people, instead of losing their health, either their physical or their mental health, they lose their time. And time is the most precious resource that every single person has limited amounts of. Every time you scroll, you lose 6 hours here, 4 hours there, 10 hours there. You're literally losing your life. You are losing your life because of an app on your phone. And yet you keep allowing it to happen. And so when you go through this process, keep that in mind. Keep in mind that this isn't even for a single little achievement. Like, oh my God, guys, I quit scrolling. This is literally getting your life back. You're getting control over your time and genuinely your life, what you can accomplish in your life. You're taking back control. And if you want to get to that point faster, then I can actually help you one-on-one. As I mentioned, I do procrastination coaching. And if you want to get there as fast as possible, you want to save as much time as possible and learn the skills necessary to never scroll again for your life, then you can actually get a free consultation with me completely for free by clicking the link in the description. And again, take it slow, go through the addiction process, and then find a replacement for it. Don't get discouraged when you mess up, and you'll be all right. Honestly, just stick with this, and you're going to be good.